Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're putting a seemingly innocent, super healthy-looking everyday snack straight under the magnifying glass. SunChips. I mean, they boast whole grains. They've got that distinctly earthy, simple packaging, and they just project this incredibly healthy image right there on the grocery store shelf. But we aren't just looking at the marketing today. We're looking at the fine print, drawing directly from a detailed investigation by Halal Radar to uncover what is literally hiding inside that bag.
So let's dive right in. We start with the ultimate question every halal-conscious consumer has to ask before even thinking about opening a bag. Are SunChips halal? For millions of Muslims, this is a daily, absolutely crucial dietary consideration. And as our source material points out, the halal question isn't usually hidden in the grains themselves, right? It's hidden in the flavor powders and the processing.
You might be wondering, well, why do we even need to dig so deep? According to Halal Radar, Islamic dietary laws look far past the surface. The scope of halal asks not just what a food looks like, but where its ingredients come from, exactly how it's manufactured, and whether it retains its required purity. It's a really comprehensive standard of consumption.
Which brings us to part 1, the hidden flavor question.
Diving into our investigation, the good news is we can quickly cross the usual suspects right off our initial halal checklist. SunChips aren't gummy candies, so, no gelatin. There's no pork listed, and there's no alcohol listed as a main ingredient on the back of the bag. So, on a surface level, no glaring, obvious Haram red flags are jumping out at us.
Moving on to part 2, inspecting original SunChips.
If we inspect the absolute baseline recipe, the original flavor, the ingredient list looks incredibly clean. We're talking whole corn, vegetable oil, whole wheat, brown rice flour, whole oat flour, sugar, salt, and maltodextrin. It's mostly just simple grains with no complex dairy derivatives. Honestly, it sounds much cleaner than a lot of other flavored chips out there on the market.
But grab your magnifying glass and look closely right at the very end of that list. You'll spot a super common yet highly debated term, natural flavor. Yep, this is where the simple grains stop and the complex food chemistry begins.
So what does natural flavor actually represent? Well, it's basically a broad umbrella term used by the food industry. Halal Radar emphasizes that this term doesn't automatically mean the food is haram. However, it definitely creates ambiguity. It lacks the full source and processing details. It just doesn't give the Muslim consumer the complete story, meaning unless it has a verified halal certification, getting the full picture is pretty much impossible.
Now for part 3, the dairy and enzyme factor.
The plot thickens massively when we turn to the flavored varieties. Think about the massive jump from the original flavor with its simple grains to flavors like Harvest Cheddar or Garden Salsa. Suddenly we're dealing with cheddar cheese, Romano cheese, whey, buttermilk, sour cream, and enzymes. The halal concern becomes significantly stronger here because these complex dairy blends require really strict validation.
And buried right at the bottom of those complex dairy lists is our primary wildcard. This is literally the main culprit of our entire mystery, enzymes. When dealing with cheese and dairy flavorings in snacks, enzymes are basically the ultimate hidden variable for anyone keeping a strict halal diet.
The reason enzymes trigger such a deep investigation is all about where they come from. Enzymes used in cheese making originate from 3 main sources. They can be microbial, plant-based, or animal-derived. So, here's the absolutely crucial point. If those hidden enzymes are animal-derived, the halal status suddenly hinges on verifying 2 massive details. First, the exact animal source, and second, the precise Islamic validity of the slaughter method. Without clear halal certification from the company confirming this, those vital details are just completely missing from the label, leaving strict consumers entirely in the dark.
Let's wrap this all up in part 4, the Halal Radar verdict.
It's time to piece all these clues together. But before giving the final word, we really have to understand Halal Radar's impartial methodology. They operate on a strict, evidence-based standard. If a chip doesn't clearly list pork, alcohol, or gelatin, they won't declare it strictly halal. But because of those hidden flavor sources and unverified enzymes, they also won't give it a confident halal pass. It essentially sits right in a gray area.
So, the official verdict? It's doubtful. To quote the source directly,
It's doubtful because while original SunChips don't list obvious haram ingredients, the common flavors lack clear halal certification and they contain those tricky cheese enzymes and natural flavors. Without that explicit verification, a strict halal-conscious consumer simply can't be 100% confident in what they're eating.
Finally, Part 5. Navigating the snack island.
Look, information is only as good as how you apply it, right? Halal Radar recommends these precise, actionable steps for your very next grocery run. Step 1. Check the exact flavor in your hand. Don't just assume a cheese flavor is fine based on the original's ingredient list. Step 2. Scrutinize that label specifically for dairy, enzymes, sour cream, and natural flavors. And Step 3. If you are in doubt, just pivot. Seek out snacks that actually carry verified halal certification or stick to incredibly simple, unambiguous ingredients.
I really want to draw your attention to this powerful quote from the source material. Your halal standard is worth more than a craving. This philosophy just beautifully emphasizes that protecting your dietary standards, your heart, and your obedience is far more vital than indulging a fleeting 5-minute desire for a salty snack. Leaving doubtful things isn't about making life difficult, you know? It's about maintaining clarity and purity in the choices we make.
To wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought to consider the very next time you're standing under the fluorescent lights of the snack aisle. Is a momentary snack craving truly worth compromising the strict standards you've set for yourself? Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. Stay curious, stay informed, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.